This is Sergeant Beltfed, and we're playing some World Warships. We're messing around with the Shokaku on the special test, number 2. And here we are. First, by default, I always go to map view in a carrier. It's just a bad habit. So, let's get this thing moving. Let's circle around and try to keep the ship out of the way, keep it from getting spotted.
Maintaining present course.
Here's our N1Ks armed with rockets. For a weapon the Japanese did not use on their aircraft. I'm surprised I have so many of them. Of course, we do have a massive squadron of 10 aircraft. Don't let the numbers deceive you. These things aren't going to last.
We're under attack.
Yeah, this is the disappointing second carrier rework. So we're receiving anti-aircraft fire from a destroyer that's over 7 kilometers away.
Fighter airborne.
Just because. So we're going to try to shoot rockets at him.
Engaging enemy.
Try to evade flak. Of course, the ship can put up an impressive amount of flak.
Returning.
And of course,
Being set.
rockets overshoot. Somebody commented on the forums that the rocket reticle is actually very low.
We're under attack. Returning to ship.
And I think I agree. So we're down to 6 aircraft. One of them's damaged and trailing smoke. So, and now the fighters are shooting us up. Why I can't turn around and shoot them up, I don't know. Oh well, my fighters aren't helping me. Flung some rockets off.
Engine boost
Of
deactivated.
course, fighters just won't leave you alone. We're down to 2.
Engaging enemy.
So we've shot off a bunch of rockets.
Returning to ship.
Fling those off, and we get 2 hits. We have labored to produce 1,452 damage. Let's try some torpedo bombers.
Maintaining present
Landing gear
course.
just vanish into the wells. B-7A, the Aichi Grace. Rather nice aircraft, actually. These aircraft handle horrible. Can't speak specifically for the N1K, but Japanese fighters are supposed to handle pretty good. They don't here. The B-7A is probably one of your more maneuverable attack aircraft in World War II. They still handle like garbage.
Approaching target.
So let's get some torpedo bombers here. Okay, well, I'm not going to drop on that Mogami. Thank you, bots. Let's go hit this Amagi here. Go torpedo him head on. Probably highly ineffective.
Taking fire.
Hey, see, we were flying in. Of course, the aircraft that don't participate in the attack get chewed up anyways. Somehow we hit with both torpedoes. I'd like to know how.
Approaching target.
I must have turned into them and turned badly. So here's 2 more aircraft. Of course, we're going to sandwich him with the other Shokaku.
We're under attack. Returning.
Now we're down to 1 aircraft smoking out of our flight of 4. Got 2 more hits. Okay, I guess don't buy a lottery ticket, because I just used up all of my luck. We're going to come in with this, come in behind him, so this is actually a pretty good strike.
Taking fire. Returning to ship.
I think we dropped those way too close. First, look at the flag. Looks gorgeous, but ooh, got a kill by flooding. So let's drop on this guy.
Returning to ship.
Now let's go back to the rocket fighters.
Enemy cruisers.
And we got another kill. Finished off another almost dead ship. That's about the only way you're going to get multiple kills in this. Looks like our bot Mogami just detonated our bot Cleveland. Gorgeous. Yeah, the new hangar system. It sucks. The little counters down on the bottom, 4/14 and 10/12. You have 14 spots on the flight deck for fighters. You launch them 10 at a time, then it starts refilling it. It refills it very slowly. So with these numbers, if you get a flight knocked out, you're not bringing them up anytime soon. You'll be able to launch a little skeleton crew.
Taking fire. Fighter airborne.
Like we started out with 4 fighters in the hangar. After we launched our 10, yeah, this Yamato is going to rip these aircraft out of the air.
Problem solved, sir.
So we went from 10 to 4. And we have just added 2 more aircraft to the hangar. So it's too slow. Of course, AA is just ripping our aircraft out of the air. So we got to launch 2 strikes out of 10 aircraft. So we're going to send some B-7As configured as dive bombers. It is a multi-role aircraft.
Airborne.
Had the B-7A actually entered service, it probably would have also been doing the fighter role, as apparently it was more maneuverable and faster than a lot of the fighters of the day. Dive bombers come in flights of 9, drop in groups of 3 aircraft. So as you can see, our hangar spots replenish themselves excruciatingly slowly, especially considering how fast we lose the aircraft. Why Wargaming decided to punish carrier captains even further, I don't know.
Fighter airborne.
I suspect they don't like money. Maybe they're allergic to it or something. But let's try to bomb a Yamato. Of course, we're losing aircraft. We have 1 damaged one. Drop bombs. Of course, they just sort of hang. And we got 2 overpins. Okay, our aircraft are getting tore to shreds. Hit the heel. Heel does nothing. Drop some more bombs. Got 1 penetration and 2 overpins. So, dive bombers are a massive disappointment.
Our team has taken
Let's do a little scouting with our solo dive bomber. It said the heel's useless. Wargaming has decided to cripple Japanese carriers even further by giving them deep water torpedoes and AP bombs. Let's just get rid of that dive bomber. Let's see, he's coming from there. So there's the Shokaku. The Lexington should be near him. And let's turn further north because there are no bot surface ships to go suicidally hunt me down. Let's send the torpedo bombers back up. At least they work. Yes, they still have deep water torpedoes. If you manage to actually hit a destroyer with a torpedo or a bomb, it should be an achievement. However, they decided Japanese carriers cannot partake. Yep, there's the Lexington. Lots of stuff flying around with the Shokaku.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert.
I see a bunch of fighter squadrons flying around. Let's hit the boost and see if we can get there in time.
Fighter airborne.
to dump some fighters on some torpedo bombers, try to protect our ships. That's the only way that carriers can actually play against each other. Let's go dive down. See if we can kill ourselves at Shokaku. And nope, somebody else gets the kill. And we get to fly around through the flag. They are decently sized squadrons. 8 plane squadrons for torpedo bombers. So let's go make a torpedo run. It looks pretty. It's way too much work for what you accomplish. We get the drop on a stationary Lexington.
Fighter airborne.
And 2 torpedoes hit. See if we can drop on this. Oh, now the fighters decide they're going to show up and shred us. So we're down to 2 aircraft. Of course, just lose another one. Drop a torpedo. Of course, friendly fighters did not intercept anything in time. Go figure. And that is that. Testing was done in a similar fashion as to before. The things to pay attention to is 8 torpedo hits, 5 bomb hits, 12 aircraft shot down by our patrol fighters, 2 incapacitations, 3 ships sunk, which is, I think, an all-time high for me with these ships on the test server, 2 floodings, despite the 8 torpedo hits, 1 flag defended, 6 ships spotted. I thought we were supposed to be blind. 19 rocket hits. All that for a whopping 77,420 damage. Here we are with 1,709 base XP. We came in above the Montana and below our fellow Shokaku captain by a small amount. Of course, a bot came in all the way up at the top. Fairly close spread among the top team members. It's sad to think that myself and the other Shokaku driver are worse than a bot. Of course, you see things similar on the other side. Their Lexington at 850 base XP didn't sink anything. Our fellow Shokaku driver only sank 1 ship. Of course, we were both attacking the same ships. The enemy Shokaku player also did not actually get to sink anything. That might explain the results. Here's probably the most important screen. The bombs, 5 hits out of 6 bombs dropped. Nice hit ratio for a whopping 5,548 damage. That is absolutely pathetic. I'd do better dropping rocks. Torpedoes, 8 hits out of 13 dropped for just under 55,000 damage. I guess that's livable if everything else brought up the slack. 19 rocket hits for less than 5,500 damage out of 72 fired. I mean, you do spam a lot of them, but okay, I got 19 hits and 5,500 damage for all the work involved in using them. That is absolutely insulting. I successfully shot down 12 patrol aircraft. I lost 12 patrol aircraft of my own, 8 fighters, 2 dive bombers, and 4 torpedo planes, at least according to the after-action results. For some reason, it felt like I lost a lot more. We had hits on an Amagi, a Lexington, and that is the second Mogami that I saw, not the first one that blew up before I could attack it. We did shoot rockets into a Yamato for minimal effect. Shot down 6 of a Shokaku's airplanes. And we actually hit a Benson with some rockets, but that's about it. Did not accomplish much, sadly enough. And here's the credits. Part of the testing was that aircraft carriers cost 5 million credits to actually run. And if you got 500 base XP in surface ships, they handed you 5 million credits. Of course, aircraft carriers got 1 million free XP every time you got at least 500 base XP in them. So I think it was 5 million free XP got you the tier 10 ships. The only thing to pay attention to here is credits received. Just the initial 267,000 or so credits. I guess that's not horrible. XP with premium, not bad. It's about normal. Commander's XP, I'd actually have to look. I don't think that's too far off of what one could expect on live. So at least they do earn okay. They appear to do, they feel like they do horrible. Round 2 of the carrier rework. It was painful. It's mercifully short. Where round 1 of the carrier rework appeared to, how should I put this best? It was like a really early alpha test. You saw some little concepts that might be interesting if they fixed them. In test 2, they didn't fix them. They simply upped the AA to stupid levels. This was the only match that was even halfway enjoyable. The other matches, it was a frustrating, you launch your airplanes, you fly up, you see a wall of flak, you try to fly around it while you're getting shot at from like 10 kilometers. Because, well, these things have extended AA range of some kind. And you lose all your airplanes and you go home and do nothing. This was my highest scoring match. And pretty much the only time I broke 15k damage. If this is the route Wargaming is going, they have a lot of work ahead of them. If they thought they were anywhere near close, you're in trouble. The AA was stupid. The rockets are still kind of pointless. You'll notice I don't believe I set a single fire. The AP dive bombers on the Japanese aircraft are a slap in the face. They are completely useless. The new hangar mechanic is, I don't know what it's designed to do. Maybe force you to rotate through your aircraft so that you have to rotate to the aircraft that don't actually work. Maybe that's what they're trying to make you do. Yet again, another slap in the face. You've already pulled the aircraft carrier's teeth out. Now you just want to sit there and aggravate them. The torpedo bombers. Okay, if you have a suitable target, they still work. It is nearly impossible to get a hit on a rapidly moving ship. They might as well be immune because you're dropping slow airborne torpedoes from much further away than you can manually drop on live. You're pretty much at the auto drop ranges. And you're dropping them 2 at a time. I had one match where I watched a Zhao literally dance between every torpedo I dropped on him. The Lexington that was with me eventually hit him with dive bombers. It was absolutely comical. Of course, that is also the only game that actually killed anything with rockets. I finished off a destroyer that had like 122 hit points. And I believe it took me 2 rocket salvos to do it. So, This carrier rework is pretty much a disaster. They got a lot of work ahead of them. They got a few interesting concepts, a few things that might bring the skill floor down and the skill ceiling down. The big problem they have is the skill floor is too high. The whole "you must be this tall to get on this ride" is probably a little higher than the average player. That I can muddle my way through them. The unlimited hangar with a cooldown on the aircraft as it was, that's not a bad idea. That'd help out the rookie players. They have completely failed on how to attack things and how to actually use your aircraft. They threw away what in concept is a very intuitive system, if your UI actually worked properly, to a system that looks like it's designed to drive people up the wall. I want to be playing the game and be playing against people or bots or whatever. I do not want to be playing the UI and playing the bugs like we do now. Well, we'll see if they come out with a test number 3. What's in store then? See you on the next one.